Hey friends, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, thank you for stopping in to watch this. I'm Trucker Nene, and I'm an over-the-road trucker. I left the corporate world for the highway, and I'm doing trucking my way, so to speak. So hope that if you like this video, you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe would even be better. And apparently those little things throw this video into the YouTube universe for others to watch and find. So let's get started. My biggest trucking mistake. Now, this happened probably 2 months ago. I never shared it. Frankly, it's embarrassing. I don't think it's a rookie mistake at all. I mean, yes, I'm 2 years, 2 months in. But this is, I mean, if it was my first month or two, I would say, okay, it was a rookie mistake. But this is not a rookie mistake. This was complete stupidity on my part. And let's get to it. Let me tell you what happened. So yeah, this sort of sucks. So about 2 months ago, if you guys have been watching me for a while, I was doing a water fast. And I was on my last day of work, which would have been my 8th day of my water fast. And truth be told, by this time I was pretty weak, like physically. I was out of breath getting in and out of the truck. I was just weak. Now, I'm sort of setting up the incident, but in no way am I not taking responsibility for what happened. Okay, I chose to fast. I chose these decisions. I get it. So these are factors. I'm not placing blame on fasting. So anyway, so I get to a customer that I have been to many times throughout the entire country. And at some of these locations, when you back into the door, they want you to dolly down, which means that you crank the legs down, you disconnect completely from the trailer, and then you either sit in front of the trailer or you go to a bobtail area. But the trailer would sit by itself, unsupported by the truck. So, you know, hundreds of times I've done this. So, okay, so I'm trying to put this in the right context. I get the door, I back in, I do all my business, and I always drop the airbags to pull away from the truck. So I dropped the airbags, I felt it, you know, disconnect from the kingpin, and all of a sudden, it's like there's a brake on. Like I can't get from under there, you know, from under the trailer. I give it a little more fuel and I'm like, what the heck? I'm looking down, I'm like, my brake's not on, what's going on? I check my mirrors, my trailer is sitting on my very rear tractor tires, so my rear drives. And I'm like, I dropped my airbags, why? And then I look even further back, and I did not roll down the dolly legs. I did not put the legs of the trailer down. So if you're unfamiliar, when you see a truck and trailer together, the rear tires of the trailer belong to the trailer. The front tires that you see below a trailer actually belong to the truck. So the only thing that supports the front of the trailer are the two metal or steel legs that come down, that you have to manually crank down, at least on our trailers. That's what supports the front end. If you do not put the legs down, then the trailer, here's the tires, makes a nosedive because there's nothing supporting the front of the trailer. I realized what's going on. I didn't put the legs down. I immediately, when I set the brake, I jumped out, and I was in panic mode. Like, not where I didn't know what to do. I knew exactly what to do, but this is a major mistake. It could have been even worse, like, to me, catastrophic, if I had dumped the trailer. So let me tell you what else happened. So if you think about, here's the trailer, right? And this would be my fifth wheel. My trailer was sitting on my tires below the fifth wheel. So I couldn't back up and get back under the trailer. I had to stay where I was at, and I had a fully loaded trailer, and I had to go and crank up the trailer fully loaded so the dolly legs could get tall enough so I could get underneath it. Remember, I had been fasting. This took every bit of strength that I had. I bet you guys it took me 15 minutes, because when I from the trailer to the ground, now remember it was sitting on the back, so probably a foot to reach the ground for the dolly legs, but then I had to crank it up even higher to get out from underneath my tires. And I thought, if I can get it balanced out so it's even, because the forklifts have to drive into this, right? And I was worried about that too. So I'm like, if I can at least get it level, when it's empty, I can crank it up even higher so I can get back under it. I don't know how I did it, but I got it level. I got out from underneath the trailer. It got unloaded, and then when I got my paperwork to go back to connect again, I used the crank, so I raised it even higher so I could get back under. But of course, when this happened and I'm in the bobtail area, I'm like, how did this happen? How did this go wrong? And for whatever reason, I did stuff out of order for that particular delivery. I always connect and disconnect in a certain order. And I don't know why. I don't remember if something caught my attention, which caused me to go out of order. But I remember feeling like, did I do that? Like, I remember that sort of sensation. But after this all went down and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I did stuff out of order and I skipped putting the dolly legs down. Like, you guys, I don't think some of you will probably understand this, but if you are completely unfamiliar with trucking, like, that could have been a claim on me for the trailer, for the contents of the trailer, for any damage to their dock. I mean, this is why I'm saying this could have been catastrophic. It could have been awful. It could have been far worse than what it was, but to me, the mistakes that I had made were really bad. And I question whether or not I should make a video about my biggest mistake, because it takes a bit of vulnerability to say, yeah, I effed up, and I effed up badly. But I need you to understand that if you're coming out here to get into trucking, you always have to be on your game. And I always followed a sequence. And I'm not sure if it was the fasting. I'm not sure what happened. But I went out of sequence, and that's when I made a mistake. So if I have any pieces of advice, it would be whatever sequence you use. If you uncouple first, pull the arm, put the legs down, or if you pull the release, put the legs down, uncouple, whatever your sequence is, to connecting and disconnecting, never, ever, ever break from that sequence. Always double check. So since that, I've never broken that sequence again. And before I actually drop the airbags and pull forward to like disconnect from a trailer, I always look at my mirrors to make sure that my legs are down. Like this was not a rookie mistake. This just was not. It was just, I messed up. If it would have went badly, I mean really badly, and I would have had to explain this to Prime, there's no excuse. There's nothing I could say to take fault away from me. I mean, it is what it is. I effed up. I'm not proud of it. I'm glad that it got caught on my tires, because that is honestly the only thing that saved my ass. Because if I would have had a free ride, that trailer would have dropped to the ground. But I got hung up. So I wanted to share that with you, because every day there's challenges out here. Sometimes it's like this week, I feel like I can't back worth a damn. Like my angle seems to be off, and I'm either overturned. Like it's just a bad week for me for whatever reason. Like I just feel it. You know, like when you're like, why can't I hit that easy spot? Why can't I? It's just an off week for me. And you're going to have those. But I got to stick with my routines, because that's what's worked, tried and true. But anyway, so if you stuck with me through this video, I appreciate it. I'm probably going to get some comments below that I won't like, and that's all part of this game. But what I don't want to do is not share these types of things with you, because they're real, they happen. And when you get your butt saved like I did, you got to thank God or somebody above, because it could have been far worse. And then it just, what do you take away from this? Well, it's been reinforced that I follow my sequence and I double check before I pull away. That's, it just takes one time for something to happen to you, and it sticks with you, right? So if you like this video, thumbs up. I know the content is, it's sometimes tough to like when I'm sharing a mistake, right? Like you're like, yeah, good mistake. It's not about the mistake, it's about the intent, right? I was sharing something that nobody would have known. I mean, Prime didn't even know it happened. There was nothing to share with them because I fixed it all. And I let you know how I fixed it. So that may come in handy too if this unfortunately ever happens to you. So that is my biggest trucking mistake to this date, is I went to disconnect from my trailer without putting my legs down. It is what it is. I shouldn't. It is not. It is what it is. That's not what I'm saying. It happened, and I learned from it, and it hasn't happened since. So I thank God for that. So, all right, everyone, drive safe. I have more videos that I'm posting from my last couple loads. They'll be up soon. And Christmas is upon us, right? All right. Take care, everyone.